lot of women don't understand this, that, you know, like the things that keep you around with a man after you guys have had sex are not the sex. It's the other stuff that you do.
But also all that also corresponds to it a lot if you're religious or even your values. Like if you come from a Christian background or even a Catholic background and all those things, it, you know, that also comes into play too, depending on the person, of course. You know, I agree. Like if you have that, you know, sex drive, like all that good stuff, like you said, like, yeah, like you want to please your man, you want your man to be there, you want him to stay, you are going to do everything he wants, right? But of course, like if that also sometimes doesn't even sustain somebody. You know, you could give them all those things and that also doesn't even sustain a relationship, which I've seen that happen. You can be the perfect wife. You could be the one that doesn't say a word. You can cook, you can clean, you can have the kid, you do this, you show face, and you're still not enough. And, you know, and then those guys go to somebody else. So it just goes hand in hand where things sometimes don't always go that way that you're saying. You know, it's
always the weak men.
I think that's extremely uncommon, that a woman does all of that and then leaves, and then the man leaves her. I think it's extremely now, if she does all of that and is also a royal fucking pain in his ass every day, then, you know, that's like he didn't leave because she did it all and all of it wasn't enough. He left because she was doing all this, but she also was just constantly going on about, you know, this and that. Oh, you know, you just got home from work. You know, I've had the kids all day. You need to take, like, if she's a royal pain in the ass while doing those things, being the royal pain in the ass is a problem.
Wait, what were you going to say about taking the kids?
No, so whatever it is, right? Like he just works 16 hours laying brick, and he comes home and he's like, I just want to kick my boots off and sit down for 10 fucking minutes. And she's like going on about something that needs to be done, right? So she could be doing it all, and that's not the issue. He's not leaving because she's doing it all and he's going to find something better. He's leaving because something else is wrong, right? Because men are really easy. Like, women hate to hear this, but men are really, really easy to keep around. Like, we don't need much.
But you're saying it as like everyone, like men are, as a general population, are just the same people, same personality, same mindset, same mentality, and it's not like that. I think a lot of men
everyone's
have different ways. Yeah, so exactly. But I'm just saying the way that you're categorizing it as is like, you know, men are like this and women are like that. And it's just like not every woman and man think the same. Like everyone has different ideas. Everyone is very different in the way they think. I think you have a lot of points that you're saying that make sense. But I feel like a lot of people aren't just all in that same box, because you can't say that you're the same box as everybody else and everyone's like, you're the same as everybody else. Like, that's ridiculous, because you're not. You're TC and I'm Sabrina. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, so there's a lot of dorks that don't have options with women that will tolerate a woman doing jack shit to help him in life, right? So, like, the men that have less options are even easier to keep around if you're a woman.
But there's still men that are like you said, that are jack shit and are terrible men. And I've seen that happen. And they also are not the greatest to women either. They also think they're like hot shit. They think they deserve the hottest woman on the block. They deserve like the model. And they don't also want to not have that type of, you know, person, which I get. Like they also want to feel valued as well. It's just, you know, they're also not the best looking person, but they want that too. You know what I mean? Overall. And that goes vice versa to any type of man and however they feel or however they look. And same goes for women. You know what I mean? There's women that are not the most beautiful either, and they're not pretty at all. And they're over here wanting a model that's like, you know, 6'5", you know, gonna pay for everything. And it's like, babe, like settle down. Like, you know, it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Which
so you agree, because this, you know, this is the same thing that I think, right? You agree that women's standards are through the roof a lot of the times nowadays.
I don't think women's standards are through the roof. I'm just stating like some people standards don't meet with what with what they have. You know what I mean? It just doesn't equal. That's what I mean.
Well, I agree that a lot of people's standards are out of whack, but like when a dude that's a dork, that's fat, that has like an unkept beard, you know, like this neck beard, spotty shit, and he plays video games all day, and he says he wants to date a supermodel, we all make fun of him. Like everyone, men and women, think he's delusional, right?
Yeah, of course.
But a lot of times when women have standards that are like crazy, like a lot of people are like, oh, you deserve the world, you go, you know, you're going to get that man, manifest it. So I think there's a big difference between how men with unrealistic standards are viewed in society versus women.
But I think there's women too. Like, I feel like nowadays in society, especially now, like, I feel like people try to look things at both angles and have, viewpoints for women and men. And I feel like women also do see, like, there's women that act out and aren't great and aren't good people that shouldn't be dating people that they think that they should be dating. You know what I mean? So, and I feel like, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of girls that are like, yeah, girl, manifest it. Like, that's for you, girl. Like, we love that. And it's true. Like, the girls do that. We love that for them. And I love that for them too. But at the same time, it's like, girl, it's not realistic. You're not going to get that man. Like, it's not happening. You know what I mean? Because you're not putting that work into yourself. You're not putting that work to yourself. You know what I mean? I feel like if you're working to something and trying to become better, then you can attract that,
That's like a woman with a bunch of kids wanting a guy that is like just starting out in life and has like all of his future ahead of him. And it's like, oh, here, deal with my problems from previous life and we can just move on from here. And you get to deal with all of the issues and the mistakes that I made before now.
Well, so here's what I think, like, how this came to be is with dating apps and social media, right? So men, when they're losers, men make fun of them and women don't sleep with them, right? So like they have this issue, like it's checked, right? Until they do the work, they're not getting any results, right? But women, like, so the same flip side, women that have these unrealistic expectations, they can go on Tinder or on Instagram and they can get a bunch of attention from these types of men that they're interested in, right? But the attention is only sexual. Like, these men want nothing to do with these women long term, but they'll still give them the attention for hooking up. So this is what I think has caused this problem, like, right? Men's unrealistic expectations are checked hard by reality, and women's aren't, until they realize, like, most of the guys that are hitting you up that are above your level, like out of your league, whatever you want to call it, they're just interested in sex. They don't want anything to do with you in a serious, relationship.
All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.